Hi there, Santa. Come here often?
Once a year. Dig out, ready, put in some milk. The blue, dunk it in.
I've got some cookies that you can
Yeah? You got some chips for these cookies? This meal ain't free, nigga.
Got some.
It's a $5 footlong, but it costs like $35.
Got some hot, fresh cookies just for you, Santa.
I'll take a bite of your cookies.
But just one, Santa. Just one bite. Hello, what up, Hope Biscuits? It's your girl, Skitten.
That's the commercial for our sex parody. Santa
God.
Crawls Down Mom's Chimney, volume 25.
Oh my goodness. I talked in a previous video about how much I enjoy Christmas music. And so many people in the comments were like, well, Christmas music is cool, but I just don't want to hear it all the time. I don't like hearing it over and over. And I'm like, you guys don't understand what I'm telling you. Christmas, I listen to like the same 15 Christmas songs and I love it. I enjoy it so much. I can sing them all. Not only can I sing them all, but we took my little brother to go through some drive-through Christmas lights, and he can sing them all.
Not only that, he sung the Mariah Carey version of some songs too.
He was like, all I want for Christmas is, but he's got like his little deep little man voice, but he's like,
deep little man. He's like 20.
Well, yeah, but you know, whatever.
He'll always be your little brother.
I mean, yeah.
Almost 6 feet tall.
He's mentally and physically disabled. He will always be a baby to me.
That is a cop-out. That's a grown man. He having his own house. He be kicking up.
He's like, all I want for Christmas is you. He's like, you.
Yeah. Goes up like a slight deep octave and shit.
Oh my
God. Their whole family was like vibing with this Christmas music. And it was the most irritating thing for a bunch of people who don't talk to each other. It's like, how y'all niggas not see each other all year, and then Christmas starts, and all of a sudden it's Christmas cheer.
Yes,
gotta
absolutely.
see Christmas lights.
We got our Christmas traditions down pat, man.
So hopefully you guys are doing the same thing.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing some of the same stuff. So what are you here for, Miss Santa? So
we are here for some Salmonella Academy.
How is this holiday related, bitch?
My Christmas gift to you is my reacting to Salmonella, okay? You're welcome.
We don't have no fucking Christmas. We ain't Christmas cheer, and we're gonna watch this.
It's very on brand for us, because what Thanksgiving stuff did we do?
I did 1 year. I did people with exploding turkeys.
But I'm talking about this year.
One time I did a Thanksgiving based
I think maybe one time I talked about how Christopher Columbus was an asshole. And I think I saved a video about fuck pilgrims. But I don't think I recorded it.
No, you did. You released an extra credit video because nobody watched it. And it was really good.
But that wasn't this year.
No, that was this year.
That was just a year. You guys can probably find it.
You notice I'm cherry picking.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're in it for this.
Okay, so this video is called Diogenes, the publicly defecating philosopher.
Do you know who Diogenes is?
Behold, a man, and he held up a chicken.
You know who Diogenes is.
I know that guy.
He's my boy.
So this video is 3 years old. And why have we gone back 3 years? Because Salmonella is starving us.
Damn, are you good, son? Yo, my wife we watched that Sigmund Freud video. She said, dude, nose candy sounds great. Snort, snort. All right, let's go.
We're ready. I'm ready.
Hit me.
Let's go.
Hit me. Merry Christmas, bitch.
Okay.
Hey kids, time for another hot steamy load of knowledge dripping down your neck and chest. Today, we're going to talk about the greatest mind to ever live. Nope, not him. Nope. Keep trying. Who I'm really referring to is the ancient Greek philosopher known as Diogenes of Sinope. Diogenes followed the school of thought known as cynicism. Far from the yelling at CNN, sitting down during the pledge kind of cynicism we know today, cynic philosophy centers around the rejection of conventional desires in favor of a simple, moderate lifestyle. But while many philosophers made a virtue out of self-discipline, Diogenes took all that to a whole new level. He was the most down-to-earth guy out there. Literally, he lived on the ground, in a big tub in the marketplace where he'd beg for a living. For a while, his only possession was a wooden bowl, until one day he saw a child drinking out of his hands, and he was like, what do I need this shit for? Now, though his way of life and perspective was unique enough, it's the way Diogenes showed it that really set him apart from the rest. When someone today wants to go against society, they dye their hair blue and make a blog post about how there aren't any obese women of color in Super Smash Bros.
I don't play Super Smash Bros, so that's clearly not referring
like
to me.
A liberal. You play Tekken. And you play the black character in Tekken, Master Raven.
Because she looks cool!
That's not the point! You got blue hair and you play video games.
My hair is pink and blue.
On the other hand, when Diogenes has something to say, he just jerks off in public. Takes a dump in the amphitheater, pisses on passerby, whatever. The way he saw it, he was just performing much-needed bodily functions while also protesting the superficiality of the civilization around him. Keep in mind, though he was an unwashed, publicly defecating homeless man, that's not all he was. His wit was easily on par with his philosophical contemporaries, and his lack of inhibition meant that everyone knew it.
Oh, no.
For example, here's an often pondered question of the day. How do you define a human in the simplest of terms possible? Plato decided to tackle this question, and he came up with featherless biped.
Yes,
and in the ancient Greek world, they didn't have any kangaroos or gibbons or nothing, so people were the only things around that both walked on two legs and didn't have feathers. Plato thought he was real clever with that one. Diogenes, on the other hand, he wasn't having any of it. So he said, alright, you pompous prick, I'll give you a featherless biped.
Oh, no.
So, in reality, we do not learn. And what we call learning is only a process of recollection. Oh, god damn it, not you again. What's up, fuckers? Hey, check out this person I found. Isn't it such a human?
No.
Look at him, wow. What a guy. Anyway, love to stay and chat, but I saw some trash outside that looked delicious. Smell you later, deliberator.
Bro.
Oh my god.
But it's funny because philosophers back in the day used to just be assholes.
They really were.
Like, you were a snobby prick.
What's his face was such an asshole they killed him.
Straight up,
Socrates,
man.
right?
Yeah, dude. That's the whole play,
Murdered
man.
that nigga.
Yes, my student. Yeah, what the fuck? Here's another one. Macedonian King Alexander was a big fan of Diogenes, so he decided to pay him a visit. And he said, hey man, big fan, if there's any favor I can do for you, anything at all, just let me know, I'll make it happen. Now to put this into perspective, this is Alexander we're talking about. The guy who had his cousin straight up assassinated so he could take the throne. The guy who would later go on to conquer the majority of the civilized world. And you know what Diogenes says? He goes, yeah, you can do me a favor. Move over, you're in my light. Wow, I'm not even mad. You really are just a legend. Diogenes lived up to the ripe old age of 89. I don't know if that's a testament to his lifestyle or if he just got lucky, but either way, if there is a god, he definitely has a sense of humor. The exact cause of Diogenes' death varies depending on which source you look at. Some say he died from an infected dog bite. Others say it was from eating raw octopus. My favorite theory is that one day he just got tired of living, and he just held his breath till he died. He left behind instructions on what to do with his body after he passed. Now, when people think of special post-mortem instructions like these, they usually think, scatter my ashes at 6:53 a.m. off the western face of Mount Rainier using my grandfather's favorite ladle. None of that with Diogenes. He kept it simple. In the words of Danny DeVito, when I'm dead, just throw me in the trash. Specifically, he wanted his body tossed into the wild so animals could feast on him, thereby giving back to the earth what little he took from it. So kids, moral of the story, don't judge a book by its cover. The man who appears to be nothing more than a shit-smeared babbling vagrant could actually be the wisest man you'll ever meet.
Vagrant.
Or he could really just be a raving fucking lunatic. Bring a knife, just in case. Anyway, till next time, I'm Sam Manella, and thank you for watching.
Mess with the cabbages, get the stabbages.
It's so funny because, like, watching this video, I remembered, like, oh yeah, we've watched this video before, and it was still just as good.
Yeah, yeah.
Just, like, salmonella is the kind of humor that does not...
quit. Just keeps on hitting.
You got the tits that don't quit.
Yeah, some of them got tits that don't quit.
But no, it just doesn't stop being funny.
You're right.
I could show this to somebody tomorrow and still laugh just as fucking hard.
But it's also that he takes these figures that we already know so much about.
Yes.
And when you just highlight these little things, your brain just goes on all these, like, for me, just like these adventures. It's like there's so many things I could talk about with this, you know, and I just really like that it really takes a new look on these old figures that you just don't really consider.
Yes.
He was just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he was a dirty asshole, and you wouldn't want to touch it. You know, you're not eating out on this. meal on a Friday night, even if it's half off.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Okay, so now we're going to watch Joshua Norton, who is apparently the only United States emperor.
Okay.
Your mom's a witch.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Hey kids, let me ask you, do you watch the news often? Have you attended a school in your life? You ever look at a dollar? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then chances are you're familiar with at least a couple United States presidents. But if you're like me prior to last week, you've probably never heard of a United States emperor. Excuse me, good sir, but I should inform you that we're actually living under an emperor as we speak.
It's your voice.
At least according to my degree from the University of Reddit. Hey, that's great. Whoa, look over there. It's someone criticizing Elon Musk. And he's making typos. Anyway, let me tell you.
He crawled off.
So, I have a story about criticizing Elon Musk.
Sure.
We have these friends. They're called A and S.
Okay.
Okay, A and S are dating. They've been together for a while. Wonderful people. But for the longest time, S was a big fan of Elon Musk. And we were at, I want to say we were at like Thanksgiving or something at A's house.
Something to bring people together and have a good time.
And me and S got into like a knockdown, drag out argument about whether or not Elon Musk was garbage. Do you remember?
I mean, the premise for you was whether or not he was garbage. The premise for him was about how you can't make those assumptions and all those things don't equate argumentatively and etc., etc.
Long story short, he was like hella dick riding on Elon Musk.
No, not really. He just felt very strongly that you can't make those assumptions. I stand by my man's decision to like the guy.
Nah, bro. He was like hella on Elon Musk.
You can look up to rich people. I think it's cool.
But it's fine. The moral of the story is he now knows that I was right all along and Elon Musk is garbage. So suck it, Elon Muskovites.
So now every time we hear about him or see his memes on the internet, we get to reminisce about the venom that was spit between two friends during a gathering.
It was like a family event. There were children there, and it was
literally kids in Spider-Man costume.
No, bro.
Good times.
Y'all a story about a man named Joshua Norton. Norton was born in England at some point in the 1810s. Very little is known about the guy's younger years other than the fact that he spent most of his youth in South Africa as part of the UK's colonization programs. He came to San Francisco in 1849 with a modest amount of wealth to his name and worked his way up in the real estate and commodities markets to become one of the city's wealthiest citizens. All was normal in the life of Mr. Norton, until one day when he got a little too big for his britches. You see, in 1852, China was facing a huge famine, so they completely banned the export of rice. Naturally, San Fran's rice price began to skyrocket in response to the reduced supply, peaking at 36 cents per pound. Norton saw this and decided to buy a $25,000 rice shipment from Peru at 12 cents per pound, thinking he'd corner the market. Keep in mind, that's around $750,000 in today's money. Little did he know that wasn't the only shipment coming out of Peru, and by the time he was able to sell it, rice was already back down to 3 cents a pound. According to my calculations, that put Norton at a net loss of a whole frickin' lot. He subsequently got into a years-long court battle with the vendor who sold him the shipment, which only cost him more money, and ultimately left the man destitute. So, Norton did what anybody would do after losing everything. He drank a nice hefty dose of fuck it all and said, you know what? The courts can eat my shorts, the house can eat my blouse, Peru can eat my shoe. I declare myself emperor of these United States.
What?
And I'm telling every newspaper in the city about it. And then he did. Now, the papers could have just been like, what a lunatic, and that would have been the end of it. But instead they said, you know what? This guy's kind of a meme. Let's publish his declaration, just for gits and shiggles. People across the city had their laughs, and Norton's rise to power began. From here, he issued several more commands to the media, and unlike nowadays, people loved having regular Norton updates shoved in their face. Among these announcements was a decree in 1859 to formally abolish the United States Congress. He also gave out a mandate to both the Protestant and Roman Catholic churches to formally ordain him as emperor. Although these edicts were ultimately ignored by the powers they were were addressed to. They still served to build Norton's reputation around the city, and before long, he was a fully fledged local celebrity. He was easily recognized by passerby, typically sporting a blue naval uniform and a beaver hat with a peacock feather in it. Pretty soon, Norton could expect to receive the royal treatment wherever he went. People started to address him formally on the streets, he got to ride public transport for free, and he even got occasional tax payments from people sympathetic to his impoverished living situation. Oh, and get this, Norton became so famous that toy stores in the city began selling dolls of the man for kids to play with. How many people can you think of that were so legendary that they got dolls made after them? You got Emperor Norton, Mr. T, and the bear that Teddy Roosevelt decided not to shoot. That's it, really. Also, though not backed by actual law in any way.
Really quickly, do you think that Teddy Roosevelt actually didn't shoot that that little baby bear? I think he shot that nigga.
Oh, I don't think he did.
That's my conspiracy theory.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's mine.
We were talking about conspiracy theories that you definitely believe in.
Yeah. That's my conspiracy theory.
That's a good one.
Theodore Roosevelt hella shot that baby bear.
Yeah, I like that.
And then lied about it.
Look it up if you don't know what you're talking about. It's actually fascinating. But after the video, obviously.
His declarations came to be taken relatively seriously by the populace around him. For example, according to Norton, saying Frisco instead of San Francisco would be punishable by a $25 fine. Talk to any Frisco native and you'll find that this attitude survives to this day. With the help of a local printing firm, Norton even issued his own currency, which was actually accepted by many residents of the city, despite having no backing behind it whatsoever. In fact, a few Norton bucks are still floating around today as highly valued collector's items. I tried doing the same thing a while back, but unfortunately,
all I want for Christmas is fucking Norton dollars.
Yeah.
Onella rubles are still only worth their weight in Onella rubles. Of course, it wasn't all magpies and molasses for our good friend Josh. He was once arrested by a policeman named Armand Barbier, who wanted to throw him in an asylum for his apparent insanity. Needless to say, when the public caught wind of this, they lost their fucking minds. Irate citizens wrote complaints in droves. All the newspapers published scathing editorials towards the police department. Stray cats were thrown into wood chippers. I don't have any evidence for that last one. I'm just, assuming based on what I would do in this scenario. Anyway, pretty soon, the chief of police got the memo, and Emperor Norton was released unscathed. Thankfully, Norton issued a royal pardon towards the man who arrested him, and from that point onward, whenever Norton passed a member of the force, they would stop and salute him. So, although in many ways he appeared godlike, Norton was but a mortal. And, as mortals sometimes do, Emperor Norton decided to drop dead on a street corner on January 8th of 1880. However, he left behind a legacy the likes of which most of us could only dream of. Beyond just the comedic value of his many exploits, Norton definitely had his prophetic moments, with some of his orders actually coming true decades after they were given. On multiple occasions, he ordered a bridge to be built between San Francisco and the Oakland Bay Area, which was eventually constructed in the 1930s. He also told people to form a League of Nations to uphold international interests. Unfortunately, a man yelling in California wasn't quite enough to convince the leaders of the world that such a thing was necessary. But who knows? Maybe the little Nordo could have stopped World War I if he had been just a bit louder. I hope this tale has inspired some of you young impressionable kids out there.
That's cool.
That was great.
It's videos like that remind me that
there's nothing new under the sun.
Mental health is important. They tried to help this man. They were like, no!
Yeah.
Free him!
Free him!
For our entertainment. He's got good ideas.
That was good. Man.
Yeah.
Salmonella, man. Salmonella will go down in the annals of history.
Sure will. The deep crevices of our historical butts.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. And other than that, peace out, Ho Biscuits. It's